A warm welcome to all the students for this lecture number 7, which is continuation of the previous lecture. In the previous lecture, we had seen the uninformed search strategy, that is depth first search. In this lecture, we are going to explore further another very important uninformed search technique, which is called as iterative deepening depth limited search, IDDLS. Sometimes it is also referred as iterative deepening search. Now, this technique is a combination of advantages from breadth first search and depth first search. In this search, in order to perform depth limited search, we use a depth limit parameter. Okay, let L be the limit parameter, then L takes the value from 0 till n, where n is the maximum depth limit beyond which we say that the search will be futile. Okay, say when depth limit is equal to 0 initially, however big the tree might be, however big the search space might be, only the nodes at level 0, only those nodes will be visible. So here only the start node will be visible. So this is that depth limit 0. Okay, that will reveal only the tree up to level 0, that is only the initial node. Then we perform depth first search procedure on the tree that is visible so far, and in that depth first search procedure, if the goal state is found, we quit, otherwise we go into the second iteration, and in the second iteration the depth limit increases by 1. So now you see, earlier only one node that was at level 0 was visible. Now that we have increased the depth limit to 1, 2 more nodes will be visible. So the entire search space up to level 1 will be visible. Okay, so A, B and C, these are the nodes which are visible. So then we will perform depth first search procedure on this tree. So first, A is the current node. We check whether A is a goal node. A is not the goal node. Okay, so A can be expanded further. Then A has 2 neighbors, that is B and C. Randomly anyone will be chosen. Let's say that from A we choose B. Okay, again we check whether B is a goal node. B is not a goal node. So then we try to explore the children of B. Now since the depth limit has been set to 1, only the tree up to level 1 is visible, as good as this is the only tree. That's why at this particular point B does not have any child nodes. Although there are child nodes, they are not visible at this iteration. So since B does not have child node, we backtrack back to A and we explore the second neighboring path that takes you to C. Again, C is not a goal node, so that means in the so far explored tree we have not found any goal node. That means all 3 nodes are already examined and none of these have goal node. So we have to go to the third iteration, where limit now will be incremented by 1, so that limit becomes 2. And when depth limit becomes equal to 2, now only that part of the state space up to level 2 or depth 2 will be visible. In the previous iteration only A, B, C were visible. Now another level is visible. Okay, so again on this particular tree we perform depth first search procedure. So we check whether A is a goal node, A is not a goal node. Then we expand A and there are 2 child nodes of A, B and C. We can randomly choose anyone. Suppose we choose B. So from A we choose B. Again B is not a goal node, so B can be expanded further. B has 2 child nodes, D and E. Anyone randomly can be chosen. Assume that we choose D here. Again we check D is a goal node, D is not a goal node, and that means D has to be expanded. But we realize that D does not have any neighboring node. There are no child nodes for D. So that means there is a backtracking that has to be done. So from D we backtrack to B and then we choose another path that takes us to E. That's how we reach E. Again, after reaching E, we check E is not a goal node. So what we do, we try to expand E and realize that there are no child nodes. So we have to again backtrack to B. Okay. So after backtracking to B, it means this entire branch is not fruitful. So that means I have to backtrack back to A and choose a different path, that is say C. Again we check, is C a goal node? Suppose C is not a goal node, then we try to expand C and find out who are the neighbors of C. There are two neighboring nodes, that is E and G. We can at random choose any one. Suppose E is chosen, so from C we reach E. Okay. Again we check whether this is a goal node. It is not the goal node, that means it can be expanded, but we realize that this does not have any child node, so there is a backtracking that is made. So from E again we go to C. Then from C only one path remains to be explored, that is G. So we visit G. Again G is not a goal node, so we have to backtrack back here. Okay, after backtracking we realize that we still have not got the goal node, so we come here. That means all the nodes of the current tree are all examined, and so far we have not found any goal node, and as a result in the third iteration the limit will be then incremented by 3. So if you see in the third iteration, another part of the tree will be revealed. Okay, so the search space will be revealed up to the depth level 3, and the same depth first search functioning will occur, and finally here M happens to be the goal node, so we say that we have found the answer. So the algorithm stops at depth limit equal to 3. Okay, now suppose if we had set the maximum limit, okay, to say 4, and even after setting limit 4 in the resultant tree, suppose we are not able to locate any goal node, then it simply means the maximum depth limit means that beyond this the search will be futile. There might be a solution after level 4, okay, maybe at level 11, but going till that level 11 will be futile, it will be wastage of time. So in such cases we try to abandon search. So this is basically what is iterative deepening depth first search procedure, which is combination of both the techniques. One, it is combination of breadth first search because it goes breadth wise. When we set limit, okay, unless and until all the nodes till that limit are examined, we don't go to the next level. So with this respect, it is breadth first search mechanism, and while actually doing the searching in every iteration we use depth first search strategy. Okay, so it's combination of BFS and DFS, and the advantage is that, one, since there is always maximum limit to the depth, okay, it will never end into something called as blind alley. That was a problem that was faced by depth first search. Here it will not happen, because when the algorithms realizes that we have reached the maximum depth allowable and still we have not found any solution, algorithm just quits. It does not goes on exploring the other depth levels. So this is a iterative deepening depth first search method. Now if you see the time and space complexity of the other methods, these are the three methods that we have studied so far. The time complexity of depth first search method is O b raised to d. Space complexity is OD. For breadth first search also the time complexity is same, but the space complexity is again exponential here. It is O b raised to d. Now iterative deepening depth first search is combination of best things from DFS, best thing from BFS. However, the time complexity remains the same, and the space complexity happens to be OBD. So the time complexity remains same for DFS and BFS as well as IDDFS, but since the constants are large in IDDFS, IDDFS happens to be slower than BFS and DFS. Thus, IDDFS may not be directly used in practical applications, but this technique of iteratively progressing your search in an infinite search space is pretty useful and can be applied in many AI applications. Now we will see an example we will solve this example to see how iterative deepening algorithm. So this depth limited iterative deepening search or simply iterative deepening search strategy is as we have seen, it's a combination of DFS, okay, and DFS that finds the best depth limit. Now here the depth parameter, it can range from 0 to k, where k is the max depth, maximum depth which we have to define, after which the search is futile. Now we will be considering this tree, okay, this particular state space we will consider to solve, okay. This this particular tree, as you can see in this tree, R happens to be the goal node and R is occurring at depth level 4, okay. Now initially when depth parameter is set to 0, you see although the entire tree is existing, only nodes up to level 0 are visible, as good as saying that there is only one node in the given tree, okay. So in the first iteration depth becomes equal to 0 and only the tree up to the depth level 0 is visible. Then we perform a depth first search procedure on the available nodes in the tree. Now since there is only one node, DFS does not, we don't have to go for DFS, we have to only check whether the root node happens to be the goal node. Now we already know in the example that R happens to be the goal node, so A is not a goal node. So since A is not a goal node, then we can expand A further. So this requirement of expanding A further, okay, because of this requirement we go to the second iteration where the depth limit, it increases by 1. So you can see in the next iteration, okay, the depth limit will be increased by 1, so only that part of the state space till level 1 will be visible, okay. So in the next iteration when depth is equal to 1, now only that part of the state space is visible which is up to level 1. So level 0 is visible, level 1 is visible, okay, as good as saying that only this much tree is there. Now again depth limit 1, so then we perform a depth first search on this particular tree, okay. Let us start with the depth first search procedure. So first A happens to be the root node, we find out whether A is a goal node. A is not a goal node, that means A can be expanded further. Now this A has 3 child nodes, that is B, C and D. So any one successor node or child node can be chosen. Let's say B is chosen. So from A we go to B. Then we check whether B is a goal node. Now B is not a goal node, okay. So since B is not a goal node, B can be expanded further. But we realize that B does not have any child nodes. That means although there are child nodes available, okay, at this particular iteration only these 4 nodes are visible, okay. So as good as saying that B does not have any child nodes because other nodes are not yet revealed. So since B does not have any child node and B itself is also not a goal node, we have to backtrack. So from B we backtrack back to A, okay. So what we do, from B we backtrack back to A. Then there are 2 more options which are left. So randomly we select any one of the options. So from A, let's say we choose C. Again after reaching C, we examine and see that C is not a goal node, that means C can be further expanded. But when we try to expand C, we realize that C does not have any child nodes. So what is again required? Backtracking. So from C we backtrack back to A, and then there is only one path that is remaining, that is from A to D. So from A, DFS procedure moves to D. Again after reaching D, we check whether D is a goal node. D is not a goal node, so D is also not a goal node and D does not have any child node, so we backtrack back to A. So this ends with the depth first search procedure for depth level 1 in the second iteration. It ends by realizing that so far there are no goal nodes found, okay. So the depth limit again increases by 1 in the next iteration where another level nodes will be revealed. So when depth equal to 2, you see now the only that part, only that section of your state space up till depth level 2, only that much will be revealed. Okay, again on this DFS procedure will be executed. So starting with node A, we check whether A is a goal node. A is not a goal node, so A can be expanded further. So you can choose B, C or D. Let's say I choose B. So from A we go to node B. Then we check whether B is a goal node. B is not a goal node, so B can be expanded further. B has two child nodes, that is E and F. Any one can be randomly chosen. So let's say from B we go to E. Then when we reach E, we check whether E is a goal node. E is also not a goal node. Then E can be expanded further. But here we realize that E does not have any children. So we backtrack from E back to B. So from E we backtrack back to B. Now since one path of B is already considered, now there is another path that is left. So now the DFS procedure, it explores B to F. After reaching F, we check whether B is a goal node. B is not a goal node, and B also does not have any child node. So we have to backtrack from F back to B. So from F we backtrack back to B. It means that this branch has been unfruitful. So now since B is unfruitful, okay, we have to backtrack back to A. Now one path is already explored. Now A has two more paths which are left, two more successors which are left. So randomly anyone will be chosen. Let's say from A, the algorithm chooses path going towards C. Then again it checks whether C is a goal node. C is not a goal node. Then it checks whether C can be expanded further. Yes, C can be expanded. So C is expanded further to reveal G. Then it checks whether G is a goal node. G is not a goal node. Then it checks whether G can be expanded. G cannot be expanded. So there is a backtracking that happens. So from G we are backtracking to C. Okay, we have already found out that C is also not a goal node, right? So we backtrack back to A, and now there is only one path which is left to be considered, that is from A to D. So from A the algorithm takes you to D. Again we check whether D is a goal node. D is not a goal node, so then D can be expanded further. So from D the algorithm takes you to H. Then again it checks whether H is a goal node. H is not a goal node, so it checks whether H can be expanded further. Again H cannot be expanded further because there are no child nodes left. So we backtrack from H to D. Since D we have already explored and D is not futile, D is futile, from D we go to A. After reaching A we realize that all three paths are already considered and there is no more path left to be considered. So this completes the depth first search for this iteration for depth level 2, and we end up by not getting the goal. So since so far we have not got any goal node, okay, we increment the depth by 1 in the next iteration. So in the next iteration another level nodes will be revealed. So in the third iteration you see all the nodes up to level 3 will be revealed. Okay, again the depth first search procedure will be carried out here. So from A we will go to B. Then from B there are two options, E and F. Let's say we choose E. Then from E we go to I. After reaching I we realize that I is not a goal node. I also cannot be expanded further, so we backtrack back to E. Now since from E there is no more path remaining to be considered, what we will do, we will backtrack still further to B. After reaching B we realize that one path has already been considered. There is another path that can be considered. So from B we move to F. We check that F is a goal node, F is not a goal node. Then from F we can either go to J or K. Let's say we go to J. After reaching J we realize that J is not a goal node and J cannot be expanded further. So what we do, we backtrack from J to F. Okay. Then from F there is another path that is left. So from F we go to K. After reaching K, we realize K is not a goal node, and also K does not have any child nodes. So again we backtrack back to F. Reaching F, we realize that there are no more paths that are left to be considered from F. So we have to backtrack back to B. Again, after reaching B, we realize that there are no more paths left to be explored at B. Okay, so what we do? We still backtrack further, and from B we reach A. So far, the entire leftmost subtree, all this subtree has been already considered. So now from A, either you can choose C or you can choose D. So we choose C. Again, C is not a goal node, so C can be expanded further. So from C we go to G. We realize that G is not a goal node, G can be expanded further. So from G we go to L. We realize that L is not a goal node and L also does not have child node, so we have to backtrack to G. Reaching G, we realize that G also does not have any alternate path, so again we backtrack from G to C. Here also we realize that C also does not have any alternate path, so we go back to A. So after reaching A, we know that this path and this path, they are already explored and there is only one more path left to be explored. So from A, now we explore D. We check whether D is a goal node. D is not a goal node, so D can be expanded further. So from D we go to H. H is also not a goal node and H can be expanded further into M or N. Any one will be selected. Let's say from H we select N. Reaching M, we realize that M is also not a goal node and M does not have any child nodes. So we backtrack from M to H. Reaching H, we realize that there is another path that is left. So from H we go to N. And finally, after reaching N, we realize that N is not a goal node and N cannot be also expanded. So then there is nothing left. I have to backtrack from N to the previous node. Reaching H, we realize that there are no more options left for H, so we backtrack back to D. Again reaching D, we realize there are no more options left, so we backtrack to the root node A. Okay, after reaching A, we realize that there are no more branches left. That means the entire tree has been already traversed and so far there is no goal node found. So depth limit in the next iteration will be incremented by 1 and the another level of the tree will be explored. So now this entire tree is visible and notice that the goal node R lies in this particular level. So finally, with depth equal to 4, okay, again DFS procedure starts. From A we can choose any one, let's say B is chosen. From B, E is chosen, suppose. From E we choose I. Reaching I, we realize it's not a goal node and it is also not having any child node, so we backtrack back to E. At E we realize that there are no more options left for E, so we backtrack to B. At B we realize that there is another branch which is left to be considered, that is F, so from B we go to F. Okay, at F there are two options, J or K. Let's say we choose J. After reaching J, we realize that J is not a goal node, J also does not have children, so I have to backtrack back to F. After reaching F, we realize that there is another branch which is left, that is from F to K. So algorithm goes to K. Again K is not a goal node, so K can be expanded further either as O or P. So randomly, let's say we choose O. After reaching O, we realize that O is not a goal node and O also does not have children, so you have to backtrack back to K. After reaching K, we realize that there is another path which is yet to be considered, that is from K to P. So we explore P, realizing that P is not a goal node and P also does not have any child node. So from P we backtrack back to K. At K we realize that there are no more paths left to be considered. So from K you still go further backtracking till F. At F also we realize there are no more paths left. So from F we go to B. Here at B also we realize that there are no more paths left. So from B we go back to A. That means the entire left side branch has been traversed and so far we are not successful in getting the goal node. Now from A there are two more options left, either through C or D. So at random, suppose we select C. So from A we go to C. again we check C is not a goal node, C can be expanded further, so from C we go to G. G is not a goal node, but G can be expanded further, so from G we go to L. L is not a goal node, L can be expanded further, so then we reach R, and finally we check R and we realize that R is a goal node, so we stop. Okay, so in depth limited depth first search, the solution is obtained at when the tree is revealed at level 4, at depth limit 4. Okay, but as you can make out, one advantage of this depth limited depth first search is that in depth first search, the search compared to the breadth first search, depth first search is better because there is low load on memory. In breadth first search, what happens is the entire memory gets loaded because all the nodes from a particular level, all of them are loaded into the RAM. Depth first search, this load on memory is reduced. But then other problems with depth first search is that it may not guarantee you solution, and second is it may get lost into blind alley. Now that problem is solved by your iterative deepening search, because at every iteration what we are doing is we are going breadth wise, that is one level we check fully, and only when we don't get a goal then we go to the next level and again check that level fully. After assuring that there is no goal node, only then we proceed in the next depth level, and so on. So in this process, if there is any goal node that occurs in any of these intermediate levels, it will be immediately detected. Second thing is, it also does not put any load on the memory, because what kind of search we do at every iteration, the search that we do is again depth first search and not breadth first search. So every time we do depth first search for every iteration. So as a result, this is a combination of best things from BFS, best things from DFS. But as you must have realized, there are a lot of wasteful computations that occur in this iterative deepening search, because every time for every iteration you have to again and again repeat this depth first search procedure. See, it was repeated for this particular iteration, the same thing plus something extra has to be repeated for this iteration, and still further again we have to repeat the procedure of DFS for next level. So this is one of the disadvantages of depth limited depth first search procedure. Okay, so that is it for today's lecture. Thank you.